And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
When I was a kid, we played a game called Hands Down, where there was like these buttons you pressed and hands would slap down, plastic hands. And that actually I was reminded of that when I saw this game here, Slap, which is a snappy I know everything answer trivia game, where it says think fast, write faster, let it slap. But on the side it says I know every answer. And in fact, the back of the box says everyone knows the answer to every question. So this is a thing where you know the answers. Can you answer them quickly? And it is for ages 8 and older, for 2 to 5 players. Let's take a look at it. So the device here is basically a bunch of paddles that flip. So you can see you let them fly like this. If you're going to play with less than 4 players, you can take these and they'll snap down here, which keeps one of them open. Or if you're going to play maybe with just 2, you can keep 2 of them open. So let's snap these suckers. Oops, there we go. So what players are going to do is everyone's going to hold their paddle, and one person's going to spin the spinner. And okay, I spun on green. Now that person then is going to take the top card and read the green question. A popular app, angry what? Okay, so everyone then has to write down the answer as fast as they can. You have to write out the complete answer, so maybe I'm writing angry birds. Boom, and I let it go. Now, if the pink person who wrote birds there, they would have got the point because pink was underneath blue. That's basically all it is. You write the answer, and whoever has the correct answer that's closest to the bottom is going to get to keep the card. The first person to get 10 cards is the winner of the game. So the pink questions in each card are number cards, like what number is most associated with James Bond? How many sides does a cube have? Or Lucy ate half her orange, what percentage did she eat? So that's what the pink questions are. The yellow questions are nouns or letters. Where is the tibia bone located? What is the most populous city on Earth? Now again, the answer's on the back. So for example, here it would say Tokyo. Greens are blanks. Famous fantasy film title, The Blank of the Rings. Or here we have blank and a half men. And then blue are either or questions. What came first, Facebook or YouTube? What metal's heavier, silver or gold? And then the red just gives you, it starts with, what B is the capital of China? What leaf beginning with M is the national emblem of Canada? Again, all the answers for each one are on the other side. That's how you play. Now, I think it's kind of interesting that there is 5 players can play. And so if there's 5 players playing and your goal is to get to 10 cards, and everybody is on the same skill level, you're going to go through almost every card in the game. Now, almost every card in the game has 2 sides. There's 50 cards in the game, 10 questions per card. So that's 500 questions, which seems like a lot. But I'm going to posit to you that this is pathetic. This is extremely... Come on. This is all the cards in the game? They should have quadrupled this. There should be 200 cards in this game. That's a lot of questions, and that's a lot of other, it's not hard to write these questions. What eventually stops a yo-yo? Gravity or friction? What W is the opposite of tame? How many sides does the Pentagon have? Some of these questions aren't hard, but this whole everyone knows the answer to every question? Really? What's Justin Bieber's first hit? One blank. I don't know that. What is it? One time. Now, I'm sure that someone else, a lot of people probably did know that, but that is very much not the definition of something that everyone knows. Now, a lot of these people would know. Who's the author of The Cat in the Hat? Dr. Blank. Sage, tarragon, and mint are all types of what? Well, that's herbs. But again, not everyone knows that. And I think that's problematic. If you're going to say everyone knows the answer to every question, then everyone should know the answer to every question. And don't say 8 and older when you're asking them like questions of capitals of countries or historical questions or just questions about adult shows that they probably wouldn't have seen or heard of anyhow. So that everyone knows the answer to every question is not there. And this is just frankly bleh. Secondly, we're using a spinner. In a day, a spinner... Stop using spinners. There are 5 colors on this thing. just make a die that you roll. Because with a spinner, inevitably, many times during the course of the game, a spinner stops on a line. A spinner's a fun idea, but doesn't work here, especially when you put the spinner in the middle of everyone and everyone's trying to hold their things down and you're spinning it. Just give the person a die so that the reader can roll a die, or the reader can just ask any question on the card they want to. Whatever. So the idea of writing the answer down quickly and letting it snap is not a bad one. That's a good idea. I like that idea. It certainly solves who got it first. You write it down, let it go. And there's going to be people who are writing things down and letting it snap before they're finished. Happens every game I am. Or people write half the answer. Those don't count. It has to be the complete answer. So that's a good idea. But it's ruined by just, really, the components aren't that great. The pen, actually the markers, I usually get down on markers in these games. The markers here are okay. But this is a severe lack of cards. They don't seem to be a lot of thought put in them. They're like, let's get something from everything. That's great. But again, it's not stuff everyone knows, which defeats the purpose of the game. So, no, not worth your time. Maybe if you find it in the $5 bargain bin, you'll have a good time with it for a while. But there are other more fun trivia-style games out there. Slap is not one of them. Dice Tower Judgment, okay idea, badly implemented.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
No.